Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to continue on with the starting game script, and just like the previous lesson, this is the code we've done numerous times before, so I am going to run through it fairly quickly. So I'll begin below the void update and we'll create a private enumerator, and we'll give this naming convention of begin fade out, open and close brackets, open and close again, and then we'll say while, and in brackets we'll put true, open and close brackets again, and we'll say switch. Again, in brackets we'll put underscore and fade out, open and close brackets one last time. So we'll make the first case. So we'll say case starting game fade out, or dot fade out, dot waiting for key press, a full colon at the end, and then we'll say waiting. In fact, let me just check. No, we didn't create the function in the last lesson, so let's actually set that up now. This can be of type public, void, and we'll give this naming convention of waiting for key press, open and close brackets, open and close again, and with that now created, we'll use that. We'll open and close brackets back to a semicolon, break, semicolon again. Let's copy all three of those lines. We'll paste it in below, and in fact we'll make this now again. So let me have a look. In fact, I'm going to cut this function. We'll put that there. And then for this one we'll create of type public again, of type void. And we'll give this a naming convention of foreground fade out. And now we'll use that naming convention both here and here. So let's now have a look. And we'll begin with set fade out. So this one's going to be obvious. So that's going to be start coroutine, open and close brackets, close the line off, inside the brackets, little speech marks. And we'll just copy the name of the switch block we just created, begin fade out, into the comments. So we'll say start function, and again I'll just paste that naming convention in, and we'll come for waiting for key press, and again we'll copy and paste in a debug log and just swap out the name. So this is probably the only line of code we've never done before. If input for any key on the keyboard And it's nice and simple. If open and close brackets, inside the brackets, and it is literally just input dot, and we want to say any key. We'll come to the end of the line, we'll open and close brackets. So let's put that into the comments. We'll say if input equals any key, then inside these brackets we'll do another if statement. If open and close brackets underscore start button pressed double equals true. If start button pressed is equal to true, we'll come to the next line and we'll return, close that line off, into the comments, then do nothing and return. But if it's already not set to true, we want to set it to true now. So start button pressed equals to true. Close that line off. Into the comments, set start button pressed to true. So basically how this is going to work is once we enter this function, will automatically be set to false for start button pressed, so that will be false. So I'll skip over this if block first time. We set it to true, then we allow it to do any code we need doing underneath, and then when it returns back to the top of the function and tries running through again, it can't because of this return block. So with that in place, we'll come to the void update and we can cut all the code in there and we'll paste that in. So we'll just tidy that up a little bit. And let's have a look. We can get rid of this first line, that if statement. And that is all we need to do for now. And I mean to that block of code, and we'll come below and we'll say fade out underscore fade out equals starting game dot fade out dot and foreground fade out. So we'll close that line off. Into the comments we'll just say set state to, and we'll just copy the naming convention in. So let's now have a look. Foreground fade out. Let's get the debug log in. We'll paste that in. And we'll continue on. So we'll say underscore foreground fade value minus equals foreground fade speed times time dot delta time. Close that line off. We'll break it up for commenting. So we'll just say in the first line, decrease fade value by the fade speed. We'll just come below there. We'll say if open and close brackets, inside the brackets underscore, and we want the foreground fade value is less than 0. So again, we're just going to prevent a negative value here by saying if fade value is less than 0, I'll just use the number, then we'll set the foreground fade value to equal 0. Then set fade value to equal 0. And then we're going to say if open and close brackets underscore foreground fade value double equals 0. In the comments, if fade value equals 0, we're going to stop core routine, open and close brackets, close the line off, inside the brackets, the little speech marks, and again we'll use the naming convention of begin fade out. Into the comments, we'll say then stop, we'll paste in again function, and we'll save that off there. Now at the moment the code should work, but it will just show a black screen once it's finished loading the level. However, it still should fade once you press a key, and in the very next lesson we'll add the GUI to this script. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.